Right on. Here we go. So the first one was, hey guys, I saw your show today and found the part about VAs really helpful. I run a software business in exact same scenario as person who asked the question. Would you recommend the same approach to managing developers where lots of incremental changes and fixes are needed to maintain software projects? That's a really good question. And honestly, I'm sorry, I can't answer that because maybe Adam or Chris could talk about that. And guys, just to refresh your memory, he's talking about the question last week about VAs, and I was talking about how I pay my VA team, which is on a per task basis. So I only have a couple hourly employees, but almost everybody else is paid on a per task basis because it gives them incentive to become more efficient. The more productive they are, the more efficient they are, the more money they make. And they have, it's crazy, but our writing staff makes as much money as people with advanced degrees in the Philippines. That's no kidding. Using just AI writing tools, and just because the amount of volume that they can produce, they make money per article produced. So they make really good money. As far as software development stuff, it's not something that I've ever really managed or done as software development. So I don't really know that would apply to that. Perhaps the two of you might have more experience.
Yeah, I'll defer to Chris on this one. I've got a little bit.
Well,
I think he's got.
It depends. Like in software, usually you have like the milestones where you can do something like that. So for every achieved milestone, you can do a payment is one option, but it depends on the complexity of the product, right? So if you're like working like for months, like, I don't know, like for a complete app, for example, or like a complete software as a service product or something like that, and I'm not sure that's the best method. So what I usually add like the monthly one still, and literally just use a project management kind of process, if you want to call it that way, and like keep them accountable that way. So like there's Scrum and there's like many other ones, like it depends what you're coding, like what you're doing exactly. So that's usually how I used to handle those things.
Okay. Yeah, I think for me, I would just say, geez, excuse me. I think I would say, just take a look at the situation maybe your developers are in, and by that I just mean, where are they living, what is the workload, are you their only source of income, are you a side project, what's going on there? Because basically, right, you're paying them for their attention, for their work. And I would think most developers probably in a little bit higher demand than say a VA at a low level position. So there may be some things where that's why traditionally you don't see developers working on piecemeal projects. I mean, they may take on a project, but they're not being paid $50, $20, things like that. You want their attention on it, because when something breaks, you don't want them to have to come up to speed again. You want them to be invested in the project and just to be able to get in there and do it right away. But what do you think, Chris, about that?
The best developers are usually working on open source software on the side, or working on their own projects and stuff as well on the side. So like they're always like coding on something.
Yeah.
So it's different to the average VA. So like depends, like if your project is, or like your deal with them is like that you're their kind of like home income, or like I don't know how to call it, like their primary income. So that allows them to work on these other projects that they do for fun and for like pleasure, or if it's like some other thing, right? So like I've been like as well, like myself, like a coder and stuff, and I've been thinking exactly the same way, because I always had like my other projects going on, and this was just like my day job at that time was like, yeah, that feeds me, so I can work and code on those projects over there. And yeah, eventually I transitioned out and no longer coding basically. But
yeah,
it's pretty much exactly that what I said.
Yeah,
and
I think it's just one of those like,
if I got paid on a milestone base, or like on a monthly base or something like that, I didn't mind.
Yeah, I think it's more of a, give it a try, but talk to your developers. I wouldn't just implement this, or you could put yourself in a world of hurt. So just give it, find out what works, and maybe it's a good fit, maybe not. So
yeah, I've actually got I'm having something developed to automate link analysis reports, and I just got Jeremy from Press Advantage. He's helping me out, and I'm going to be going through the process of hiring developers and having them develop software, but I have not gone through it yet. So come back in 6 months and I could probably give you a pretty good answer.
The other thing that I wanted to say, like, again, it depends on what project you are in. So if you actually can paint the vision and like you actually are the passion project for that programmer, chances are high that the coder will almost work for free. Like it's crazy. As long as he's like super passionate about it and you're like, you could sell him the vision. I mean, like I wouldn't go the route to like pay him free. I would still let him work for free. I would still pay him properly. But just saying like, that's how they're thinking, right? It's like, if they can fulfill like that dream and like are super passionate and like want this, again, like it's the passion and they would almost do it for free.
Right on. Thanks, guys.